Alright, y'all, so I just got my Panera. We are Starbucks boycotting strong. I'm really excited. I'm headed to Alabama. I've been sick with COVID this whole entire time, and finally making it back out of my apartment, because when I tell you I've been in my apartment this whole time. So yeah, don't mind that. That's just me ordering stuff and then needing to return it. But yeah, so I'm really excited about this trip. I'll make this vlog short. It really is just going to be me talking about like what I feel about Atlanta ever since moving here. And I'll tell y'all my whole story. I'll tell y'all why I moved, all that stuff, because I really think when we are in this age of social media, like movement, like literally movement is like a thing. And I feel like I definitely think social media influenced me a lot into moving away from my hometown. And I just want to talk about it. And in case some of y'all are having the same thoughts as I am, or maybe you feel like there are some things that you could work on as far as, you know, like growing up, because I think moving for me was just that. Like, it was an adulting process I needed to undergo. And yeah, I'll just be very transparent about it. So while I'm sipping my hot chocolate, let's just get started. I mean, the truth is there's innocent people on both sides, but like Israel is so wrong for coming back. Like, they should have just left it at like eye for an eye, period. But they didn't. So that's what we're going through right now. So I don't go to Starbucks. It's Red Cup season and I don't. I'm really that girl who literally feels better about life during the winter when she has Starbucks and I can't go. It's not even that I can't go. I literally have chosen not to go. There's so many other places that sell coffee. It's not that great at Starbucks. It's just not. But no, for real, it's worth it. So I got my hot chocolate. I was thinking, should I take out my retainers? This isn't that dark. It's just chocolate. So yeah, moving to Atlanta. Man, this is a video I have been wanting to do for a minute. Oh God. I feel like my glasses, one thing about them, they're never gonna be clean. At all. They're never going to be clean. But yeah, how is it? I want to make this video short because yeah. So I initially wanted to move to Atlanta because I actually had an acquaintance that lived in Atlanta, or in the, you know, Georgia. I'd always been drawn to the Black Mecca. Like, I'd always been drawn to it. I took trips here and there, and I really did feel as if the move from college to Atlanta was going to be my point of like adulthood. So I'm finally here and I'm just figuring out what I'm gonna do this morning. I have one thing to do at 2. Probably gonna watch a movie with my mom, and then I have yet to see my dad, so I'm gonna do that. But I'm definitely going to talk about this Atlanta thing because I think a lot of people made videos like this, but I kind of have like a different perspective on it. I genuinely think Atlanta was the right move for me. I think that it wasn't fun at first though. I'm not even gonna front. Like, it was not fun at all at first. And I think the opposite tends to happen with a lot of people. Like, at first you get there and it's amazing. You have all these new things to do. It's a new city. At first, I hated it. I hated everything about it. Like, the only thing I liked about it was like, finally I'm in a different city. But the only reason I used to like Atlanta more than I liked any other place and why I chose it was because it wasn't too far from home, one. I was leaving college, like, didn't have much of a plan, especially because a lot of the plans that I had for myself, I didn't want to follow through on them. They weren't what I actually wanted to do. So coming here was something I was like, I actually kind of really like this city. It's the Black Mecca. That's one thing about it. There's a whole bunch of Black people in Atlanta, and I love that. And on top of that, they're just a city, but in the South. And I like the South. I really do like the South. It's different. Different culture, different type of people here. And for me, I also just wanted to be somewhere where if I left at like 2 o'clock in the morning, I could go find like a spot to go eat or like something like that. And that's something I didn't have in Kentucky, where I was in college, or in Alabama, which is where I grew up. So I was at a loss for words at how much it takes to actually stay in Atlanta. If you don't grow up there, I think a lot of them that are locals or they have lived there their whole entire lives, it's just Georgia but like there's something about being in Georgia that makes you feel like something's always going on. Something not bad per se, but definitely like if you were in New York City, but in a southern city. And I love that vibe about it. Culture shock was that everyone has designer in Atlanta. Everyone drives nice cars. I think that's one thing that I didn't really expect because I don't come from a town where people are driving the nicest cars. People live in really nice homes and people like take care of themselves, but even the dressings was different, like meeting people. It's really a celebrity culture, mini celebrity culture. Like everyone is someone in Atlanta. And I think I like that. It's a bit charming because like if you wanted to reinvent yourself, Atlanta is the place to do it. Like if you've always been that person who was just like for me, for example, if you were always studious and just always in school and doing good and all this stuff, like if you wanted to reinvent yourself into someone who went out and, bought designer and did stuff like that, you can. And this is the place to do it. But for me, I figured out I'm just starting to think about like long term, what I want to stay here forever. I think nowadays, like those are the kind of decisions that I'm having to make because I don't have time to just like keep going back and forth between what I want and what I need to present for myself so I can be successful, And Atlanta, the one thing I also want to harp on is making friends here. It's easy. Making good friends is difficult. I think a lot of people like to do the same things here. I decided that I don't want to drink, don't want to be in that scene anymore. It's not for me. And I think it was great while I was in college, but now that I'm growing up and I have things to do and pay for, I don't have the time to commit to people that's all they do. And there's some people here that I've met, they wake up, they're smoking, they go out on a weekend, they have to drink. And it's now I'm kind of in the space where I don't mind just a mocktail and I don't mind just a quiet night. And I think a lot of people just can't have a quiet night. And I think for me, I still believe in having a good time. give it like twice a year, go all out, do what you need to do. But like every other time, it's kind of just like chill and like go out to eat and be cute, get ready, do that stuff. But I've also realized here it's really easy to find friends because people are so locked in on social media in Atlanta. And I think that's the reason why people do make friends. And I think that is the beauty of it. But when I first got here, I hated it. I hated it so much. And I guess it's because of my expectations. Everyone seems like they had everything together. Everyone seemed to live in nice apartments and they were driving nice cars. I'm like, oh, as soon as I get there, it must be easy because everyone else is doing it. And I only say everyone else because I was looking at social media. And actually, social media influenced me to move in the first place. I didn't want to stay in my hometown because I was reading about all these people and watching about all these people who left their hometowns and they went to a new place and they lived a new life and they loved it. And I was like, that totally could be me. How am I going to do this? Figured out a plan, had a couple $100s, had a car, and then I was out. And I decided to come to Atlanta and realize that it's still life over here. It's not dreary at all. And I think that's what I also didn't like about it at first, because I thought making friends was going to be easy. I thought finding my peoples was going to be easy. And none of that really was. And mind you, I, at the time, wasn't even going to church. And that's somewhere that I even thought I would find more friends. But I think I've kind of been on a church low. I haven't really like gone to church the way that I wanted to. I do like online sermons almost every week. Honestly, almost every day. Like I have Bible study at home with my TV like often, but I don't go to a church. And I think that's all in all. I just wanted to come on here and basically just tell you that if you're thinking about a move, do it. If you want to go somewhere new, do it. Of course, have a plan, have, some money. By no means did I move to Atlanta with like 6 months emergency fund. I had to build up to that. But like, if you have a few $100s and you know that you can secure yourself a place to stay and you can secure like some sort of employment for yourself, like do it. And you have to have a car in Atlanta. I hate to say it, like I've tried to go without a car, it doesn't work. So you need a car unless you're like in the city. But even then, MARTA doesn't visit all the spots. It's not like New York where you walk down the block, you get to another subway, you walk up the block, there's another subway entrance. Like it's not really like that. So you definitely will need a car. But like anywhere that you're deciding to go, but mainly about Atlanta, it's not as bad as everyone says. And if you can get your groove together, if you can find your source of work, your source of living, you can then enjoy the journey, enjoy the climb of, meeting new people, figuring out who your people are, and then trying to see it as like, it's your lifestyle. It's time for you to grow. And so if I didn't have my family to move with, like if I didn't have a source of connection where I'm going, I wouldn't have gone. I think I would have stayed exactly where I was at and made do with what I have. Because I know a lot of people, if you don't have family members that can visit you, if you don't have a connecting point, it actually makes it 10 times more difficult. And I was actually one of the few that was able to have a connection point where I was going and also a connection point to where I can always come back to. And I think that if you don't have that, you might want to stay where you're at, especially if you're moving to a big city. But then I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, I'm moving anyway. But like, you don't want to waste your resources, like moving there and moving back. So if I were you, I'd have a plan in that way, having a connection where you're at and then having a connection at home and making sure you can go between the two. Because without that, I truly do think I would be in a worse position. And I think that I wouldn't like it as much as I'm starting to now. And it gives me the freedom to fail at doing life as well, because there's a lot of things that I failed at. Making friends, which places do I want to be, what kind of person do I want to be, that kind of thing. Those are things that are just trial and error at this point. And I mean, I'm forming who I want to be for the rest of my life. And even then, like, I'm not going to have that figured out at all. Like, it's just going to be a culmination of me growing and being a better person and doing more and being more. Like, that's every year, every day. But at least for now, Atlanta is the perfect place to just be me and to grow. And it's the perfect place to reinvent yourself. It's the perfect place to meet new people. And it's the perfect place to spend money, okay? Like, you already know, I don't even want to, but like, I think I might get into another video of like, how should you spend your time? Because I think a lot of people end up getting into the party scene first, and then they don't really have a plan to like back on. Like, if you don't have a plan going into the party scene, you might get lost with the crowd. Because a lot of people who are going out, they actually have purpose. Like, I've actually kind of noticed that, like, a lot of people who go out have a purpose. Like, it's not just a networking purpose. Like, they are there to meet somebody. They're there to do something. And that's something that I realized, like, as I was going out, I was meeting these people. They were there for a plan. Like, they had a business meeting to go to, or they had a person they were meeting up with. Like, and that's the kind of thing you want to be doing there. Because, like, just being out and about, doing whatever, is good sometimes. But, like, if that's all you're living for, I don't think you're gonna find value. And that's just my opinion. Like, someone else will tell you different, but that's my opinion. I think the value is in finding those people you can have quiet moments with, people that you can like truly have a real life with. And yeah, I think that's what the beauty of it is. And would I move somewhere else? Yeah, I would do it again. Would I do Atlanta again? I'm still trying to figure that out. Like, I like it and I'm willing to stay, but I think a lot of things are still keeping me there. Like, I have responsibilities now. I have certain bills to pay. Would I pick up and move somewhere else? Not at the moment. And I don't think for a while. I'm very happy where I'm at, and I'm happy in the pace that I'm doing my life. I'm happy with it. 'Cause I'm the most, I think I grow the most. You won't see it, but like, I know I'm growing. So that's kind of like, for me, my roots are just so deep, and I love that for me. I love it for me so much. And now that I'm like taking on this new thing, that's really all that I wanted to say. There's not much else. Honestly, just go forth and do what you want to do and live the life that you want to live. Okay. First thing you need to do, because someone told me this, a really dear friend, because now I've gotten to know them, and because I'm basically see them every day. So I was told, like, work on the things that you've been wanting to work on, especially if you're going like out of town. First thing you need to do, find a doctor. Second thing you need to do, find a dentist. Like, find those people that you can go to for your health. And it can be trial and error, because I've been to a couple doctors here. And the best thing about Atlanta is there's black doctors. So that's something that I didn't get to experience a lot of other cities that I was in. I have a black dentist, I have a black primary care, I have a black OB. Like, all of them are black, and they're all females. And I love that for me. I love it for me. I'm like in the perfect position. Like, I'm in the perfect place. And another thing is work on the things that you wanted to work on. So for me, I've always wanted to make sure that my body was in good health. So I saw a chiropractor in Alabama. I'm looking for my chiropractor here. I have my retainers in, and I'm gonna keep doing that until I'm happy with what I want. I want to save money to get a new car. I'm going to save my money and get a new car. But like, you need big goals here, because there's a lot of big things going on. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you're not working on the big things, because this is your chance to grow. This is your chance to elevate and do it. Like, really work at it and like put your mind to it. And you won't worry too much about the loneliness, because then you'll think about the goals that you have to accomplish, the things that you want to do. Hold on. And you'll end up doing them. I think it's easy to sit there and say that you don't have anything, or you see someone else, or you feel unhappy with them. This is another reason why this video really is more about social media and its influence over my life. I think I love it, but then I also hate it, because I think I hated Atlanta for so long because I was looking at social media and what I thought I needed to be, instead of trying to forge my own way. And I've met real people here, and I've met people that I honestly love dearly, and life is lifing for everybody here. And the one thing about it is, two things for sure, like, social media is not as real as even I thought it was. Like, people really are out here renting cars and making it seem like it's theirs, selling courses, but the only way they're making money, it's you who is the course. You're the reason why they're a millionaire. You do not need the quick, rich schemes. You don't need any of that stuff. And I can tell you right now, I got caught up in all of it. Okay, I'm number one to admit it because I thought that that was the way for success. But success is actually slow. It's like a quiet knowing. It's contentment. It's really in the everyday that's not in those things that you're seeing. It's fun to like see the girls going to buy their Hermes and doing the things, but find joy in going outside, find joy in a sport, pick up another hobby. Like, I picked up badminton. That's and ended up a lot of other people wanted to play badminton, and now we have a badminton league, and I love that for me. Like, and I honestly, on top of that, you meet different people here, from the malls that I've been to, from the restaurants I've been to, from the outings and the parties that I've been to. Like, different people are everywhere, and that's something that's really nice about Atlanta. Like, you will meet people from all walks of life. That also can be a problem too, because you want to meet the people that are going to elevate you, and not just elevate you, but like they're gonna actually be there for you. So I definitely think one thing is I'm very grateful for my time here. Do I like every part of it? No, but I also didn't like every part of anywhere that I've been. Honestly, there's some parts where it's just like awful, and that's okay because it's a part of life. Feel your emotions, make good friends. I think your friends will make or break you, honestly. They really will. And I think also just like knowing what you want, because this is the time to dream big, do big, and no more being small, no more doing things just because it's what they told you to do. I think it's now the time to just truly be who you've always wanted to be. And Atlanta has given me that opportunity to reinvent myself. Granted, I had to basically de-influence myself. Like, what is actually living? But I thought it was going to Phipps Plaza, shopping there every day, and driving a Ferrari, you know, and doing all that stuff. And regular people aren't even doing that. Like, they're working their butts off for what they have too, and they're living nice. And a lot of people will tell you, like, they're 23, some of them really are successful, and because they hustled, they worked their butts off. But some of them are actually out here scamming too. And I've seen both. I've seen both that are truly successful, and I've seen the other side that is the straight scammers. And I can't, because I don't know how you got it. And that's the thing about remaining honest and keeping your morals and your character. It's not about just making it out here. It's about being true to humanity, because, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just a thing. So keep your close purse. You do not want to trust people. Be careful the parties you're going to. And be careful of the people that you let into your home and things like that. I think it's just dangerous because a lot of people are actually, they can stalk you, and people get robbed here all the time. And that's something, like, as soon as you're at the gas station, lock your door. Like, if you're at home, lock your doors, like, lock everything. Like, just double check. It's a city still. And I think it's just be safe, have common sense. And that's something that you either, it's not like you don't have or you do have. It's just like the things that you don't think that you need to do them anyway. If you didn't remember to turn off the stove, go double check it. Like, literally turn around, just go double check it. Like, put your mind in, because peace of mind is everything when you're living on your own too. And I don't have to do it alone either. That's what I've also realized. I don't have to do it alone. I'm honestly never alone. And social media is a tool. So I've reached out to so many people on forums. I talk to women all over, and a lot of us are going through the same things. Like, we all just want to desperately do well for ourselves, whatever that looks like. And I think the one thing about Atlanta is you're gonna find your group of people that are hustling just as much as you are to make it to where they want to be. And I love that for us, because it is a journey. It's a climb. It's gonna be difficult. It doesn't have to be, but more oftentimes than not, there's gonna be a stone in the road, and you have to, like, you might bump it or you might jump over it. I don't know, like, whatever it is. But honestly, I can say I do like it. You should move. Have a plan, be smart, and be safe. That's all that really matters. The rest of it is totally fine. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out.